Hello everybody, it's Carrie here from KRLC Studio. We're going to decorate our cover today, our front and the back cover. And I have this image here and I've printed this off. It's a black and white image that I found on, obviously, Pinterest. And I just wanted to bring a little bit more color, just very subtle color to her cheeks and to her whole body. So I'm just have this on fast forward for you and just lightly using my pencil crayon to put just a little bit of color. So for the cover, I wanted to be very subtle. So now here I am just inking around the image just to kind of give it some depth. All right, and I'm finished. So here is our book right here. And I found some scrap papers. This paper that you see with the flowers on it, that's from Grace magazine that I ripped out of it. And I'm basically just putting my images down and just seeing where I want to visually put them. So just eyeing that. I'm pressing down on the edges so I know how wide to trim my page. So I'm just drawing some lines here so I know where to cut. I put some painter's tape on the spine so the spine wouldn't get all icky with the glue that I'm going to be gluing down. So right here I'm just placing images, placing ephemera around, just sort of visually seeing what works. So I like what I see, so I'm going to start with my hodgepodge. Or Mod Podge. Actually, I just water down some PVC glue, so that's my hodgepodge. Pressing that down flat. I was starting to use a credit card, but it just, because the paper is really good quality, it started to soak it up right away, and so I just kind of brushed it on and putting my other pieces, tearing it so it's not a hard edge. I have some of the pieces going off the edge of the book, and that's okay because I just went back, cut off the edges later. Making sure that she's down and positioning her and the ephemera where I want them to go before I glue her down. Okay, and she's good to go. Gluing her down. I was really afraid of it wrinkling, but it didn't wrinkle hardly at all, so just goes to show you, just glue it and leave it. I have this little image that I found and that I made, and so I wanted that to kind of go in the center. This art journal is going to have a prompt that is going to guide me through the whole entire process of all of the pages, including the cover. The prompt that I've chosen is "The Words I Whisper." I really like that phrase because I feel that I can do a lot with it when I decorate my signatures. I found words, obviously, in my magazines and the books that I have. This is 150 grit sandpaper, so I just very lightly sand the pages after my cover is all dry. Go over it with a very, very damp cloth, and this is clear shoe polish. I'm being very liberal. I'm wiping it on, wait for 5 minutes, and then just wipe it right off, and it makes it really nice. So it covers the stickiness or tackiness from the page, so I really like that. I got that inspiration from Joanne from Crafty Hodges, and her tutorial is in my description below. So here we are, we're doing the back of the cover now. This was an oops that I did. I did my background wrong, so I just printed it off again and then I just re-glued it. So I'm just inking the sides because the sides, you can kind of see the sides a little bit after I glue her on. I'm cutting around her finger just to the point where I want to put that keyhole in to cover her mouth, because I really liked that. Once again, just putting the ephemera where I want them to go. I already kind of had this all planned out beforehand. Just make sure they're glued down really well. I kind of like the background of the storm. Kind of says a lot. And then I just go to town and start gluing everything. So this is the front cover and I'm finished, and I did a little bit of embellishments there. So the back cover says, "Here at the end of all things." I thought it was fitting for the back of the cover because it's the end of the journal. At the top left is just rub-ons that I had that I was given through some Happy Mail. Used my paint pen. So every time I did a layer, I made sure that I covered it in my Mod Podge. I sealed it first, but I did do the clear shoe polish on the back as well. So both sides are nice and soft and no sticky. And that is today's journal with me. So I hope you enjoyed that. Next week, we're going to do the inside of the front cover. And until next time, a little bit of what you fancy does you good.